All right, welcome everybody to the gift behind the oils, the doTERRA business opportunity. I'm so excited to be sharing with you guys on this topic. This is clearly near and dear to my heart. I've been building a doTERRA business for 4.5 years now and been a customer for just over 5. And I believe so much in the power of these essential oils and what they can do for people, and that every home, and this seems extreme maybe to some, but I believe that every home will turn to doTERRA for natural solutions. I believe that. I've believed it since day one. The minute that I had a crazy thing happen to me with these oils and they radically transformed my health, I knew it. I knew that this would be something that every home could use and benefit from. So all of that to say, I also believe wholeheartedly in our business opportunity. I believe that when you have a company that has a product that is, top of the line, then you have an amazing compensation plan. All of those things combined together create a really cool opportunity. But more than that, there's a lot of great products out there. There's a lot of great companies out there. Our compensation plan, we're not going to get too heavily into it tonight, but it is the best I've ever seen in the industry. But the best part about what I feel you'll take away from understanding the heart behind doTERRA is the mission and is the culture that we have. It's so different. It's so set apart. I can't explain it to you. I'll just try to do my best and show you a little bit tonight. And hopefully you feel the heartbeat of doTERRA and you see what they're all about and just are drawn to what they're doing and the change that they're making in the world and how you can align with that. It's a really amazing opportunity. So that being said, again, my name is Erica Lucas and I am a Diamond doTERRA wellness advocate. And I love teaching about this topic. So let's kick it here. So a bit about doTERRA. They were founded in 2008, and so it's a 10-year-old company, and it is currently the largest essential oil company in the world. And I'm skipping ahead here, but that's a really exciting thing to say. To think that we are only 10 years old, and there are other essential oil companies out there that have been in this industry for a long time. And here we are 10 years in, and we have the largest essential oil company in the world. We ship to over 100 countries, and an amazing fact is that we have a 65% or more retention rate. And what does that mean exactly? Basically, that means that customers purchase and then they keep coming back. They keep coming back, and that's statistics as soon as you enroll this month, and then within 6 months you're shopping again for more oils. And we also have a really awesome loyalty rewards program where people purchase on a monthly basis if they choose to. They don't have to, but they often do because it's such a good deal. It's like having a Costco membership and then getting frequent flyer miles, or if you use a Shoppers Drug Mart Optimum card, it's like about 130% better than the Optimum card. It's quite amazing, the rewards that we get as customers and as business builders. It's wonderful. And something that's really interesting to know is that the statistic isn't here on the slide, but 90% of people that come into doTERRA, they just live doTERRA. They don't build the business, and that is unique because a lot of these network marketing companies we see out there, they are always preaching the business. And for us, it's like 90% of people just love our product. They just want to keep using the oils. They love that we have all of these different things that are replacing synthetics in their homes. So cleaning products, body care products, hair care products, oils, obviously, you name it. We have all of those things. And so people love that. They love that instead of going to the grocery store, instead of going to the drugstore, they can purchase everything they need from doTERRA and then be rewarded for doing so. So people just love the oils. And then a lot of those people do decide, eventually to do this as a business, but the heart behind what we do, it all starts with everyone just living and loving doTERRA. And so something that's super important is that we are ethically and sustainably sourced. So there's a lot of companies that pride themselves on finding the best seeds in the world, and then they bring them over into a greenhouse in Canada or the US or wherever. And because they found these really awesome seeds in some country, that gives them this merit to think that, oh, it's going to be an amazing plant because of the seed and where it was sourced. And the truth is that doesn't matter at all. It's actually the growing conditions that make a plant what it's meant to be, and thus make the essential oil that we extract from the plant the most potent that it could be. Otherwise, we just have the 100% pure factor going on, and that doesn't mean anything if you don't have potency. So that is important where we source, and we ethically and sustainably source, meaning that we work with the partners in different countries around the world, and we make sure that our standards are met, that we are taking care of their needs. And sustainability is huge. We have sustainability experts on staff at doTERRA that go to these countries, that go to Madagascar, that go to Somalia, that go all over the place to ensure that we're not gouging their resources and, ruining their livelihood, because a lot of these farmers have passed their farms down from generation to generation to generation. And we want to make sure that we're not scraping the frankincense tree, the boswellia tree where we source frankincense. The frankincense tree, we don't want to be digging too hard into that tree, or else the tree will die, and then we no longer can source from that oil. But more than that, it ruins, like I said earlier, the livelihood of those farmers. And so that is absolutely crucial, especially as our demand grows for these oils. We want to make sure we're protecting our growing partners. So we have, as I already mentioned, more than just oils. So some of my favorite products, you guys are going to think it's funny. I love the Slim and Sassy chewing gum. That is like one of my favorite things, and probably because I'm on a cleanse right now where I need a little something extra, a little joy in my life. And I love the probiotics, and I love the children's probiotics that actually are like a little pixie stick or fun dip. I mean, I think about all the things that we have, and it's just so wonderful. As I was mentioning earlier, we have a scientific advisory board. We have over 30 scientists on our scientific advisory board that are doing active research. We have trusted medical partners, over 110. And the cool thing is that doTERRA is now the most tested and the most trusted essential oil company in the world today, not just the largest. So we have these medical partners in university settings, in doctors and medical professional settings. We have these partners that are behind doTERRA and what we're about because of where we source from and how we test. And we'll talk about that in a moment here. And we are a debt-free company. And we are the fastest network marketing company to hit $1 billion in sales. There's only one other company that has done it, and they did it in 14 years, and we did it in 7. It's not a contest, but what an accolade to carry, that not only are we the largest essential oil company, not only are we the most tested and trusted essential oil company in the world, respected by medical professionals, but we are debt-free, and we are the fastest company to ever hit $1 billion in sales. So really, really amazing. That's just to give you a couple little nuggets about doTERRA. There's so much more I could go on about. So just a quick reminder, a lot of you guys that are tuning in are probably already familiar with oils. You already have them in your home, and you've been reinventing healthcare in your own home. But just a little recap for anyone who doesn't know. So an essential oil is an extract from a plant, and you can see this is the peppermint leaf. And here, this is just a zoomed in picture of the peppermint leaf, and you can see these oil sacs right here. So oil sacs, there's about, I don't know, like a few hundred of them on the peppermint plant. And then on the rose petal, there's hundreds on there as well, in the sap and the bark of a tree. Thousands of these teeny tiny little oil sacs, and their job is actually to protect the plant. They're a potent little package. They are the plant's immune system, the plant's hormonal system, the plant's defense mechanism, and basically they are the lifeblood of the plant. When you see something that happens that's harmful to the peppermint plant, these oil sacs, their job is meant to like basically heal it. They're self-healers, and that probably sounds familiar because our bodies are also self-healers. That's what our bodies were designed to be. So plants and humans have very similar building blocks, but it's really interesting to see. I used to work at a greenhouse, and I would deadhead geraniums and all the different kinds of flowers and have to cut things back. And you just watch things as they get cut back, or as a branch would break, or as a plant would get sick, or it was infested with, some kind of bug that was going around that summer. And they would just recover. They're just resilient. They heal themselves. And it's the power of these teeny tiny oil sacs that do exactly that. So how fast do essential oils work? 22 seconds for the molecules to reach the brain. So that's if you are just inhaling, making your little oil scent tent. I put on Balance before we started because it's my favorite grounding oil. 2 minutes, they can be found in the bloodstream. Okay, and then within 20 minutes, they will affect every cell that can utilize essential oils in the entire body. So very effective, very fast working. So people keep coming back, obviously, because these oils work. They are unlike anything they've ever experienced. If somebody is new to oils, this might be all they know and they're stoked about it. But people who have used oils for years, or who have had a desperate health situation and they read about using essential oils, went to the health food store, tried them, and they didn't work for them. You know, if they come around to using doTERRA, because some people might be turned off forever, but a lot of people I have found over the years have come to doTERRA and then they found the answer they were looking for. So you see here, we have emotional aromatherapy oils. We have peppermint oil here that is, I don't know if this is representing that it freshens the bathroom or if it helps with digestion, but it does both of those things, so we'll take it. The Lifelong Vitality Pack, DDR Prime, your cellular protector. And then we have On Guard laundry detergent. So you can see people keep coming back because we are solving hundreds of problems for the average household. And truly, it is the only company of its kind. So I touched on this briefly. I talked a little bit about our sourcing. So we have something called co-impact sourcing. And you can actually look up the website source2you.com. And that is a website where you can see our growing partners. And this is the logo for Source to You right here. So we have our growing partners, our distillation process. We have our scientific studies and medical partners all listed on this website. And it talks a lot about just the transparency of each of these oils and where they're from and how they're tested. And it's wonderful because that's very, very unique in the essential oil industry. You see, there's actually no governing body that oversees the essential oil industry. There's no regulation of therapeutic grade essential oils. So this is important because, as I mentioned earlier, purity is one thing. It just means that that bottle of lavender came from the lavender plant, right? But it doesn't mean that it was potent. So when we source from these countries, we're creating the proper environment with the right soil, the right climate, the right altitude, the right insects that are native to that area. And we are creating the perfect environment for these plants to grow. And really, we're not actually creating it. It's just that's where they belong. If we take them out of their habitat, that's when they are no longer going to thrive and be as potent as they would be otherwise. So you can see here, this is a picture of Nepal. These are our growing partners in Nepal carrying baskets of wintergreen. And here's the cool thing. Co-impact sourcing basically means that we are being impacted by having these oils in our homes and having the ability to purchase them here in North America. And then we are making an impact by sourcing our wintergreen from Nepal and sourcing our spikenard oil from Nepal as well. So these women work from 6 a.m. until noon, and they now have work and they didn't before, and their children were being sold because by themselves and their spouses because they didn't have the money, and they were given money if someone could take their kid and bring them up in a different part of Nepal and basically educate them, give them an education, and give them work. And so they would pay money for these kids, and then they would take their children. But unfortunately, what happened is a lot of these children were actually being sold into the sex trade. And I know that's kind of a doom and gloom thing to share, but it's just a fact. It's what was happening in this country and several others that we have partnered with. And so doTERRA giving them the opportunity not just to have, clean drinking water and to educate the women and the men on sexual health with Days for Girls. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of that foundation, but we've been giving them the opportunity to grow and learn in education and to give them their needs, but for their economy. And now they're able to keep their children at home and keep them safe and give them education there. Like, how amazing is that? And that is just one story, you guys. That's just one. If you go to source2you.com, you can look up where we source all these different oils, and you can watch the story of Bulgaria. You can watch the story of Italy. You can watch the story of Canada. Actually, we have a Canadian oil called Arbor Vitae that comes from BC. So you can see all these stories and how we're making an impact on their communities. If they need clean drinking water, we meet their needs. We build a clean water drinking system. If they need education, we bring that to them. If they need schools and hospitals built, we build that. And that is co-impact sourcing. And that is my most favorite part of this entire company. So that's what I was saying when I was talking about the heart and the culture. It's something unlike anything I've ever seen. And I feel so blessed and honored to align with doTERRA. So CPTG in the middle means certified, pure, tested grade here in Canada. And in the US, this trademark means certified, pure, therapeutic grade. So doTERRA invented that trademark. I'm just gonna call it like it is, call a spade a spade. We invented that. What that means is what I mentioned earlier. There was no standard, there was no governing body, there was no bar set for the essential oil industry. So doTERRA had to create it. And we have, I believe now it's 88% exclusivity contracts with our farmers. We partner with them, and countries are lining up around the world going, doTERRA, doTERRA, we have this plant. Can you make an oil out of it? Or we make this oil here. This is what we specialize in. Can we work together? Because they know that doTERRA is the leading company with standards and quality and testing, but also because of what we can do for their people and their economy as well. So we go through around 7 rounds of our own testing. We do third-party testing. We also do heavy metals testing, which if you guys know a lot about mental health, you'll know that that's actually huge. A lot of the time when there's heavy metals in food or substances, anyone that has mental health issues, it can be a really negative trigger. So knowing that we have that process in place is huge. And you'll go to that website, source2you.com, and you will just be amazed at the integrity of this company and the transparency. It's one of my most favorite things. And I can truly say and be completely proud that this is the best essential oil company in the world, and that we are the most tested and we are the most trusted. And doTERRA proves that to us time and time and time and time again. Also on source2you.com, there is a section where you can actually take your empty, or not your empty bottles. You can take, that's a DIY class for another day. You can take your bottle and it says CPTG right on there, but you can write in the lot number on source2you.com and you can actually see the original batch where that came from and the test results for that batch. So as I said, full transparency. So let's talk about the business. So now you kind of understand, I think we can't talk about the business and the network marketing industry and the being a wellness advocate unless we talk about the things I just mentioned, because that is truly the fact that we have this amazing product and this amazing heart and amazing culture. That's the most important part, if you ask me. So as far as the business opportunity, let's talk about the business industry versus network marketing. We have all heard the whole like, network marketing, it is a pyramid scheme. You know, you guys have probably heard that too. I remember hearing about pyramid schemes and I didn't really know what they were. So I just kind of assumed that all network marketing companies, that's what they were. But now that I know better, I'm like, no, they actually, a lot of these companies I buy things from. I mean, I buy Norwex cloths and I'm trying to think of what else I buy. I can't remember another one off the top of my head right now, but I buy the things from these network marketing companies. I'm not supporting some sort of scheme. And the thing is if you look at what your job currently looks like, it's in the shape of a pyramid, friends. Look at this. I worked at Starbucks, okay? Howard Schultz is the CEO. I was down here, hardworking employees with virtually no chance of becoming the CEO. And then I did make it to a supervisor, and I could have made it to middle management, but I would never be the VP or the president. And I certainly would not ever be the CEO, right? Think about your job, wherever you work, it is exactly in that shape. Pyramid schemes, you guys, are illegal. They are illegal. And a lot of the time what happens is people are just selling a business opportunity with no product. And everyone's like, what are we doing here? We're just recruiting. And what is the purpose of what we're doing? Or what are we even selling? It doesn't matter. You're just recruiting more people so you can make more money. That is a pyramid scheme. Okay. So if that's ever been a thought in your head, I hope that I've been able to debunk that for you. Think about even a church. A church has the pastor. And even then, I go to a church that it's basically just a Christian church, but it is a Pentecostal church, although we never even really talk about denominations. We're kind of not like that. But anyways, all that to say, I was going to say Pastor Bill would be at the top here, but he's not, because our church is under the PAOC, the Pentecostal Assemblies of Canada. So then they're up there, and then who's above them, and then who's above them. So it's just, you know what I'm saying? Everything kind of takes that shape and that mold in business, except for this industry, which is really funny because I have the ability to surpass the person who enrolled me. And I actually have, and it's not in a, icky way. It's just, I was doing this more full time and I just had a goal and just things were flowing and I was able to achieve the rank of diamond couple years ago, and my direct upline is going to be diamond coming up really soon. So I'm so excited for her. And then we have a really good friend, Ange, who is now, she's hit the rank of, and I know you guys don't know what these all mean just yet, but she's hit the rank of presidential diamond. And then doTERRA doesn't have a ceiling. So once you hit presidential diamond, you can start over again with a second account. And she has brought that whole organization, her and her team, to diamond. So she's considered double diamond. And all of her uplines, probably about 6 or 7 people, there's nobody that's double diamond. So it's pretty amazing. You can surpass anyone. You're the CEO of your own individual company. You get to choose your pace. You get to choose exactly how you want to build your business in your own unique way. We have duplicatable tools, duplicatable systems that work. Obviously, the way we educate on the oils, people who have been doing this for a while, like myself, we can teach you how to do that successfully. But you get to put your own secret sauce into it, your own personality, your own pizzazz, and make it your own and grow at your pace, which I love. I love it. So you can see here, this is a 10-year plan. So at a current position somewhere, we're just gonna, I don't know where this would be. I don't have a good imagination tonight, but this is just a run-of-the-mill job, but making a good chunk of coin every year, over 50 grand a year. And then you see there's raises every year. So year 1 was this, then it rose, and then again, and then again, and again. In 10 years, I mean, that's pretty decent. You're making another 16 grand a year in 10 years. So that could be a current 10-year plan for someone. Although I know even Jen, who's a part of our wellness community and our educator community, she was working for a company and became the highest level that she could ever be. And she was 32 years old at the time, and she capped and couldn't believe it. I'm pretty sure it was somewhere around like year 6 mark, and she would never be able to make any more money or surpass anybody else. But just to show you, if you look at doTERRA's 10-year plan, you can see year 1 to year 10. This means, guys, if you hit a new rank every single year for 10 years, you'll be, well, in 9 years, you'll be presidential diamond, and then who knows what after 10 years. Look at this. That is crazy, right? That is crazy. And I'm going to tell you right now, I hit diamond after a year and a half. Okay, so I surpassed the 7 years fairly quickly. I mean, some people do it a little bit slower. Some people do it even faster than that. I know people who've done it much quicker. It's not a race. It's all about your pace. But that being said, look at the possibilities with this. And around the rank of silver or gold in between here, that's when we often see people, if they don't want to work in their current job anymore and they are looking for a way to become more free with their time so they can focus on their doTERRA business and any of the other things they've always wanted to accomplish but have always had to work somewhere to just pay the bills. We often see people leave those jobs between silver and gold. So just kind of some food for thought there as well. Oh, I should mention though, Carlene, who's my enroller, she is a platinum leader and she still works a full-time job. So, and I know another girl who is in California. She is a nurse. And she just went down to part-time hours, but she's a diamond leader. So if you're doing something you love already, there's no saying that you have to quit your job and just do doTERRA, but at least you just know what the possibilities are. In doTERRA, we have 3 pathways. We have live, share, and build. I alluded to this earlier that 90% of people just live doTERRA. 90% are just living it and loving it. They use the oils all the time. They often come to a lot more workshops and classes because they're hungry for more. What happens with these people often is they start to share because the oils are working for them, or they'll just have someone in their life that they love and care about that has a need. But usually it's because they just can't stop talking about it. Oh my goodness, I had the worst head tension and I used this peppermint oil, or I slept like a baby last night, or my digestive issues are completely gone. All of these things people are so excited about happening in their life. And of course they would be, right? So they share it. And what I often do with people that are sharers is I ask them to host classes because they already are sharing anyways. So what I would do with your, like any of you who are listening, or customers that I meet at classes, if they are like, oh my goodness, my mom, my sister, my friend, I'll say to them, I know that you probably are pleasantly overwhelmed with the amount of things that you learned tonight at this class. And if you feel like you can't go ahead and repeat this to all the people that you care about and it would just come out like that, absolutely, let's set up a time where we can get together. It doesn't have to be a formal class or anything, but we can get together at Starbucks around a table. We can, hang out in your kitchen. We can have a wine night, whatever works for you. And let's do that. And I will come and I will teach and just share the oil education. And you can be sharing with the people that you love and care about. And people love that. They love that. It's very different, you guys, than any sort of home show parties that you might have ever been to. I remember my mom used to always have candle parties when I was a kid, and Tupperware parties. I just remembered that. And I was always like, wah, wah, this is not very fun. But the classes that we do are very educational, and they're really fun and experiential. People get to try the oils, experience them, and they love it. Also with shares can be compensated too. So if I have somebody who is sharing and is considering building, we'll talk to them more about that. And if that is a pathway that interests you more, like a more casual share role, you can talk to me about that as well. But sharers, I often give them some sample vials, like little mini vials. And that way the oils that they brought home, if they're just too stoked to share with someone, I've had that happen a lot, I'll just give them some little mini vials, and their stickers arrive with their enrollment kit. And then they can give, that friend at work some peppermint for their head tension, or their mom that has not been able to sleep for years, give them some Serenity or lavender or vetiver. So that is a sharer. And then building is doing exactly that, but you just do it more often, more intentionally, and you are building a business. You are treating this as a wellness business. So it can kind of feel like a hobby because it's so friggin' fun. What we do is so fun. You just get to hang out with awesome people and change lives all the time. It really is a dream job. But also there is, administrative sides to this. There is a business side and having strategies and all of that. And so that is what a builder does, and someone who's wanting to make this more of a full-time job. But of course, if you have an understanding of how network marketing works, later on, what we see happening is that we have a full-time jobs pay, but not full-time hours. So I work full-time hours because I choose to, but I don't have to. As a diamond, I don't need to be working full-time hours. I just don't know if I could stop myself for a little while because I'm having so much fun. But the point is it's very different. When I decided to leave my music teaching business, I was a professional vocal instructor for 8.5 years. I had my own business called Singing with Erica, worked at Starbucks as well because I was paying down some debt. And then when I stopped working at Starbucks for a while, I worked at a bank. I worked at First Ontario Credit Union, making very good money, working my way up the ladder there, had a pension and everything. And in my 20s, in my late 20s, and I ended up stopping all of that to do doTERRA. And my family was like, what are you doing? You're giving up a pension? Who are you? I remember when I first got the job at the bank, I had been teaching professional singing lessons and had instructors, piano, guitar, and other vocal instructors working for my business. And when I got the job at the bank, my grandparents got me a card and gas gift cards saying how proud they were of me. This whole entrepreneurial mindset, entrepreneurial spirit, a lot of people don't get it, especially generations that are not old, but older, right? Like my grandparents, even my own parents, they were a little skeptical, but now they see what I've created. And now they're starting to understand this industry and that it's not your sketchy pyramid scheme type of business. It's actually becoming more of the way that people are doing business and achieving success. So it's wonderful, you guys. And it does, for some people, it does take that mindset shift. But once you start to understand the compensation plan and you understand that you can actually be free, it's not a pipe dream. It's not a pipe dream to have financial freedom and time freedom. It is an absolute reality. So you get to choose your own adventure. You get to choose what you want to create, your 2 to 5 year retirement plan, and you get to choose your own pace. So all we do is we share oils, we enroll customers and builders, and then we launch builders who do the same. That's it. It's like a rinse and repeat sort of thing. So people can choose their level of play if they want to, actually I'll start here, pay for their product. And they just are like more of a sharer, and they just want to earn a couple $100 a month, a few $100 a month, maybe up to 1,000. And they just want to get their oils paid for. They just want to work 3 to 5 hours a week and maybe personally enroll a few people, maybe not. maybe go elite in 2 to 3 months, but more likely they're just gonna go premier in maybe 6 months or so. This is more of a slow pace to build your business, and some people stay here. Some people start here and then they move along through. Some people stay right here, and that's where they're comfortable and that's where they want to stay. They just want it to be something fun on the side. Then you have people who want to supplement their income. They're putting in 10 to 5 hours a week, and they are really focusing on building their pipeline. They are working their day job. They're hauling buckets of water from a water source to the village because they need water. But then inspiration has struck them and they've gone, you know what, while I'm hauling buckets every day, 9 to 5, I'm going to build my pipeline. I'm going to be really smart and strategic and build my pipeline on the side from the water source to the village. So that way, very soon, we will have free flowing water into the village and I will no longer need to haul buckets. I love that analogy. There's actually a really awesome video on that if you ever want to see it. But anyways, so they're supplementing their income. They're enrolling maybe 4 customers a month in one builder. And then you can see elite in 1 to 2 months, silver in 6 to 9 months, and then gold, which we saw on a previous slide, that's about 50 to 60 grand per year in 1 to 2 years. And then people who want to replace their income, they are looking to go diamond in 1 to 3 years. So elite 1 month, silver 2 to 3 months, and then diamond in 1 year. So 15 to 30 hours a week would be the needed investment, and you can see the average monthly income between gold and diamond. And these people are enrolling, they're teaching people, they're doing one-on-ones, they might be doing online webinars, they're sharing on Instagram stories and all of that stuff, and they're doing in-person connecting, and they're sampling and they're sharing and they're being really, really intentional. And they are looking to replace their income. And you can see they're bringing on board more than 1 builder per month. They're bringing on 2 or more. So the financial opportunity, there is a whole other webinar that we could do just on the compensation plan, and being a part of the Wealthy Life community. We actually have a website that's launching tomorrow, and there is going to be a webinar taught by Nisha, one of our silver leaders, who is going to teach you all about the financial opportunity and the compensation plan in detail. So this is just a quick Coles Notes version. So for the doTERRA ranks, you can see here, then we have the average income and the average timeline in which people hit. So you can see the average for going gold is 14.5 months. The average, and this is company-wide, the average for going platinum is 23 months, but look at this, so is diamond. Crazy, right? And then blue and presidential, 31 to 37 months. Now this is just a company average, and you can see how much people are making per month. And this is based on a couple things. This is based on fast start commissions. It's based on a power of 3 bonus, which I'm going to quickly touch on. And then it's also based on the size of the organization. So somebody who hits the rank of gold in their first month, they're not going to be making as much per month as somebody who's been gold for 3 to 6 months, because you get paid something called, it's called here long-term residual income. We call it unilevel. So unilevel is based on the size of your organization. Okay, so someone who's been gold longer is going to make a bit more commissions than somebody who is brand new. Same thing with any other rank. So fast start commissions are immediate, and that is when you enroll somebody, you get 20% commission, and you get that 20% commission for their first 60 days. So their life for 60 days in doTERRA, you get paid 20% commission. So that's their enrollment order, that's their LRP order, which is our loyalty rewards program, and anything else they decide to do in 60 days, you get 20% commission. The person who enrolled you gets 10% commission. The person who enrolled them gets 5% commission, and those commissions are paid out directly from doTERRA. Nobody's taking a piece of anyone's pie. So for example, I enrolled Chelsea and I got 20% commission. Carlene, who enrolled me, got 10%, and Donna and Brad got 5%. So if Chelsea went ahead to enroll somebody else, she'd get 20% commission because she's the enroller, then I would get 10, Carlene would get 5. Okay, so that's fast start commissions. And then after 60 days, they drop down to the percentages based on where you have them in your structure with this unilevel long-term residual income, which is a conversation for another day. Then your power of 3 bonus is also a very quick way to get paid, and it's also based on your structure. So basically, when you do your 100 PV loyalty rewards program order, and you have 3 people on your front line doing 100 PV, 100 PV, 100 PV, that equals 400, okay? So you need to have yourself and 3 people minimum doing this. But then the total volume between you and those 3 people or anybody else that's on your front line needs to equal 600, and doTERRA will give you a $50 bonus every single month. It's residual. Okay, then also when you duplicate that, your frontline people, when they duplicate this same exact structure and everyone's doing their monthly order, then they will get their $50 bonus and you will get your $250. Okay, and then it goes another level deep and you get a $1,500 bonus when they then duplicate that and teach their teams how to get their $50 power of 3. And this is not something to focus on too much in the beginning because it will naturally fall into place as you grow your business. So a lot of people wonder, do I build for rank? Do I build for power of 3? And to me, the answer is both. However, it's something that you will learn as you go. And a lot of people don't care about rank. A lot of people don't care about the title or the bonuses. They just care about helping people. Or some people care about just those bonuses and whatever. But I find here in doTERRA, we don't really have that. We have, I think that everyone, because of our culture and because of the people that we attract, everyone gets it that you can be both. It's okay for it to be about financial freedom, but also the healing freedom that you're giving other people. And the fact that that gets to be your job and you get to make money doing that is truly a dream come true. So if you have that entrepreneurial spirit, you can see how when you typically start up a business, if you were to buy a franchise, for example, your minimum would be $60K just to kind of get things going. Then you'd have monthly overhead costs in the thousands. You'd have to keep the lights on, the water running, you'd have to pay employees, you'd have rent, all of that would be a cost to you. Not to mention that, here we go with your overhead, having to drop that amount of money right away. And then you have years of financial equity to even break even. Okay, so a lot of time, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and a lot of time that goes by without seeing a return on your investment. If I were to buy a Starbucks franchise, I'm really on the Starbucks train today, even though I don't drink coffee anymore. But, if I were to buy a Starbucks franchise, it would be interesting to see how many years it would take for me to actually see that return back, to actually have it paid off and start to make some money. Versus doTERRA's business startup, a starter kit, you can purchase one, but you can also just get started with a $42 membership and a couple oils, right? One of our cheapest kits is this one here. This is the Essential Collection Kit. And this one's $185, and then we have another one that's $180. And so that is the cheapest starter kit, and it includes your $42 membership. Then you could, as I said, just start with a $42 membership as well. Often we find this is the best deal to get started with a kit. And then the kits go all the way up to $3,000. And that's your startup cost for building a business and being the CEO of your own company. Crazy, right? $42 minimum. That is unheard of. Your monthly investment, your monthly overhead cost that you have to worry about is ordering product for yourself, which is a business write-off, okay? Your LRP orders can be a business write-off because you are a product of the product. You are using the supplements, you're using the shampoo and conditioner, you are talking about them at classes and one-on-ones and helping people get started with them too. So that is a business write-off, and we have to do 100 PV, which equals to around $150 every month. So it's a business write-off for that reason too, that it is a necessity that you do this or else you will not get paid. So again, that's really awesome. That's really inexpensive to run your own business. You may grab a couple extra tools. You may want sample vials. You may want, a textbook. So, there are other expenses that you can choose to purchase, and some that we recommend. But how cool is it that that's how it begins? So simple, very cost effective, and you are the CEO of your own company now. It's crazy. And then years of sweat equity to create financial wealth and residual income. So it's your efforts. It's you being the CEO, okay? There's nobody cracking a whip for you. There's no bosses. There's no one telling you to punch in or punch out. This is you putting in your sweat equity to create your financial wealth and residual income, all the while just changing lives as you go along. So a day in the life of a doTERRA wellness advocate, this is what we do. We share the oils with people, whether that is through sampling to somebody. And just a tip there, I don't call them samples. I don't call them sample vials or drams or anything like that. What I call them is when I'm giving somebody an oil to try, I just say, I'm going to give you some of mine because I bought it, right? It's on my LRP. It was my expense. It was not, I'm not selling some cosmetics that I'm sitting on a stockpile of samples at my house that I'm handing out like candy. This is something that I assess what somebody needs, and then I create a blend for them, or I create a little mini vial for them to use for their benefit, right? So that's a very different thing, and people really love and respect that, especially when it's put in those terms. So have some of mine. Sharing oils can also look like setting up a one-on-one with someone. Oftentimes, this is how it goes. You have somebody who is, let's say you hurt your back, you're at a wedding, and someone's like, oh my gosh, you should meet my chiropractor friend. Come over here, meet them. You are gonna like love them. And then you meet them and you're like, yeah, so I've got this bad back, right? Are you gonna get an adjustment right there? No, of course not. You're at a wedding. That's awful. That's so weird. What you're gonna do is set up an appointment. So oftentimes if people catch me on the fly, or they are wanting to connect with me on Facebook, or they see my Instagram stories, I will set up an appointment with them. I'll say, you know what? Great, I'm so excited to help you. I have these 2 times available, what works for you? And then I will share with them, we'll meet up or we'll talk on the phone or whatever. I've done that a lot on Instagram and, you know, through some online means, but also in person. If I'm at a public event, I'm not going to sit there and just, you know, vomit doTERRA knowledge all over them at a wedding or at a public event. I'm going to say, you know what? Yeah, like let's enjoy the night, but let's set up a time to chat. You can do classes. You can ask people to host for you. Again, it's not a home show party. It's an educational session or workshop. And you look here at how casual this is. This is just somebody teaching a couple sitting outside, it looks like, on the patio, and just bringing their oils and a couple books and the Lifelong Vitality Pack, some Deep Blue Rub if anyone's in pain and they want to use that. It can be very, very casual. So classes, one-on-ones, and definitely sampling and giving them some of your oils. Then we educate them in those settings. Then we enroll them and we give them a membership overview on how to use their membership to the best of their ability, and how to use their oils even better and make sure they don't collect dust on a shelf. And then you help others to do the same. That's it. Just this cycle of awesomeness right here. So to get started in your business, step 1, you become a wellness advocate. And most people that join doTERRA, they're just called wholesale customers. They have to upgrade in their back office to wellness advocate. Now, that being said, before you do this, make sure you speak to the person who enrolled you and let them know that this is what you're considering doing. And, or if you are somebody who is listening or watching and listening, and you are wanting to get started and you have not yet enrolled, don't sign up as a wellness advocate, sign up as a wholesale customer, or have the person who you're working with help you with that, because there's different places that you can be, planted, so to speak, in an organization for optimal growth. So that is why talk to the person before you hit the upgrade button, just to kind of discuss how you're going to journey out your next leg of your oil experience and business experience with doTERRA. Then step 2 is set up your loyalty rewards. That can be done as a wholesale customer even before you get upgraded to wellness advocate. And that is just your 100 PV every month. And then step 3 is just to connect with the person who introduced you to the oils for your next steps, and they will navigate you through everything. So I want you guys to ask yourself this question. Can you live your life for 5 years like most people won't, so you can live the rest of your life like most people can't? That is the question. It is a golden nugget question. I follow Dave Ramsey, who is a financial guru. He is wonderful with helping people get out of debt and be really good stewards of their finances. And I love him. And he says, live like no one else, so later you can live like no one else. So when you're trying to pay off debts and stuff, it's like, okay, well, I can't go out to that lunch, and I can't buy that TV like that family did, and I can't go on these vacations like these people are doing right now, because I am trying to be focused and, you know, take care of my stuff. But then later, once you're free, you live like no one else, right? So I loved that concept. And it's the same thing here. A lot of people, as I mentioned, like my grandparents and my parents, are like, what are you doing? Network marketing, pyramid scheme? And, you know, that's not a real job, Erica. And meanwhile, I'm like, hello, e-commerce. That's the way the world is going. We see stores closing all the time now. We see that this is the way the world is going, right? And we can look at doTERRA, and wait till you guys learn more about the compensation plan. It's insanely awesome, better than any other network marketing company, hands down. And you look at this opportunity and these products and what you can create, and you can have this freedom to just build it the way you want to, and do the things that you want to with your life, and work from home and vacation and bring your laptop on a beach and enroll a customer on the beach. Like it's not what it used to be, and it's going to be hard for a lot of people to understand. So can you live your life for 5 years like most people won't, and create this amazing freedom lifestyle so you can live the rest of your life like most people can't? Okay, so take that to heart, think on that. And anyways, guys, that is all for tonight. I hope that you enjoyed learning about doTERRA's business opportunity. And I want to encourage you, if you do have any questions, you're welcome to ask me, or you can ask the person who connected you to doTERRA for some support on your next steps. And yeah, I look forward to seeing where you take this if this is what you decide to align with. Thanks, guys.